Here's an issue that comes up frequently in discussions about atheism and morality. Since I have argued aggressively against relativism in morality and that the evidence of objective moral truths is evidence for God, there are some atheists who want to argue, obviously there is no God, but there can be objective morality. And so the question is, can atheists do that? Can there be objective morality without God? Here I'm going to make a distinction that's very important in this discussion, because there are two statements that kind of get confused here. One of them is the statement that I just made. Can atheists have morality or be good without God? The second statement is, can atheists be good without a belief in God? Now, those two things are very different, actually, though they sound very similar. The answer to the first question is no, they can't be good without God. The answer to the second question is yes, they can be good without a belief in God. Now, I know that the answer to the second question is yes, because there are lots of atheists who are, by human standards, just as good as a lot of Christians, even though they don't believe in God. It's certainly possible to be good without a belief in God. But that's not really the issue. The issue is whether goodness makes any sense if there is no God. Goodness or morality is a very particular kind of thing. And when we say that something is right or wrong, we have to ask ourselves the question whether we are talking about the thing itself, the action in this case, say rape, or are we talking about ourselves when we say that rape is wrong? If we mean that the rape itself is wrong, that means the action, or the object in this case, has the quality of wrongness. And no matter who's viewing it, whatever subject is viewing it, then it's still just as wrong. No matter what time it happens in history, no matter what culture it happens in, no matter what the views of the individual doing the rape or aware of the rape happen to be, it's still wrong because the wrongness is in the rape. That's objectivism. Now, some atheists want to claim that there is objective morality in that sense, but there is no God. And the question I'm going to ask then is, how is it that there can be an objective moral wrong, which entails obligation to us to obey the principles in question, when there is no authority that undergirds it? That's the grounding question. What is it that makes rape wrong? What obligation do we have regarding that? How is that obligation adjudicated? I mean, who holds us responsible for the wrong we do if, in fact, there is no God? And the best, simplest illustration that I can offer to get quickly to the point is, if I picked up the newspaper and I read an article in the newspaper, and somebody said, "Who wrote the article?" And I said, "Well, nobody wrote the article." You would think that's strange, because articles are the kinds of things that require writers. And it wouldn't help if I responded, "Listen, I can read just fine. I could read better than you can read." That doesn't answer the question. Atheists say I can be good just fine without God. I could even be better than you. But that misses the point. The point is whether the concept of goodness is possible without an author to it, just like the concept of articles is possible without an author to it. Michael Shermer likes to ask the question, would you still be good if God didn't exist? And my response to that is, I'll answer that question if you answer my question. My question is, would you still be faithful to your wife if you were never married? Well, of course, his response is that it doesn't make any sense, because faithfulness doesn't apply. Faithfulness in marriage doesn't apply if you're not married, and never have been. By the same token, the concept of goodness doesn't apply. Moral law doesn't apply without a moral lawmaker. So an atheist can be good without a belief in God. They can deny God and still act in a way that is moral, humanly speaking. But an atheist can't be good without God, because without God as grounding, there is no good. No objective right and wrong, merely subjective feelings and opinions, and that's the end of it.